Greetings YouTube, time for another bargain video. We have a copy of David McCulley's The Way Things Work. I bought that to give to someone and it cost me all of $1.25. The Leprechaun's Kingdom by Peter Hanning. The Irish spirit world of banshees, fairies, giants, monsters, mermaids, pukas, vampires, werewolves, witches, and many others. So it's a monster book with some cool illustrations and such, all being tied into Irish history and mythology. We have Shadows over Vathak, which is a D&D, a Pathfinder book from, where the heck are we? Goblin Games. And I have purchased things from them in the past, and they were apparently having some hard times at the moment because one of their lead developers got shipped to the Middle East. So they're in a kind of a strait, so they put a sale out to raise some capital, and so I picked this hardcover 450-page book up for $30, brand new. And I think this is one of the print-on-demand designs. It's not bad. The printing, the binding is okay, but for that price, yeah, I'll pick it up. This is like a horror Pathfinder setting. I would never use it as that, but I will do a review over it and probably tell you how I would use it, because it's got some interesting ideas and such in there. This is a notebook cover, which has got a lobster theme, and my wife is going to put recipes in it. She put one in there already for minimalist baker best damn vegan biscuits, which she is still trying to perfect her biscuit process. Then we have the V-Book, A Doctor's Guide to Complete Vulvovaginal Health. That's for my wife. Action Spectacle Cinema, which is a scholarly take on the action films of the 80s and 90s. The Essential Haiku versions of Basho, Busan, and Isa, which are, I'm probably butchering those names, but I decided I wanted some more haiku, so I picked that up off of Amazon. Bill Moyer's Healing and the Mind. Again, I picked this up for $0.25, so I'm like, sounds cool. We have The Alchemy of the Mind, The Marvel and Mystery of the Brain, which deals with cognitive research. Bury Me Standing, The Gypsies and Their Journey, which is about the Roma. Then we have Russell Brand, New York Times bestseller, The Bookie Wook. A memoir of sex, drugs, and stand-up. I kind of find this dude interesting, so I thought I'd give it a read, and it was 50 cents at the flea market. So, there you go. Getting on to digital media. First up, we have some music. Bessie Smith, The Complete Recordings, Volume 1. 2 compact discs. Then we have Jenna Starplin's Greatest Hits. The Very Best of Edith Piaf. And some Weird Al. Then we have some movies. We have The Tuxedo, which I've never seen, and The Haunted Mansion, which I've never seen. I'm not expecting much from that. Then we have some Futurama. Then we have a double feature, which is The Shark vs. Octopus, which I may watch, but I'm not really interested in. I'm kind of interested in seeing 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a take on the whole Nemo myth. We have The Amazing Spider-Man #2, which I have not seen. I don't expect much. I got it for $2, so for $2, I'll buy into it. Then we have the 2-disc full-screen edition of The Aviator, which has the commentary track by Scorsese himself. Batman, the complete 5th season. Haywire, which I have not seen. The complete Narnia run. I believe we have the first one, but I picked this up 3 DVDs for $1. So I'm like, okay, we'll get rid of the other one. And we'll keep this set. For $1, it's a good buy-in. Ghosts of the Abyss. This is an upgrade for the Star Trek reboot. I picked it up for $1 for Blu-ray, so that was good for me. I'll get rid of the DVD. In fact, I gotta find it. I gotta give it to a guy at work. We have Spartacus, which I purchased because I want to listen to the commentary track. Then we have a documentary on Tolkien, but it's got encyclopedia of maps and all kinds of stuff, and music and all kinds of things. Then we have X-Men Days of Future Past, the Rogue Cut. I have not seen this. I have not really been looking forward to it because I don't really want to look at a dystopian future, but for $1 I think I paid for it. It was worth it. And then we have Jason Bourne, which I also paid very little for. And I got to tell you, I was more than a little disappointed. The first Bourne film, Bourne Identity, awesome espionage film, top notch. And all the others, not so much. I talked about this with a guy at work, and he goes, yeah, I kind of fell asleep during that film. I can completely understand that. On to more random stuff. We have a plate vise, and this is a device you put boards and pipes through, kink it at an angle, and then it supports them while you work on them, so they do not fall down, and gives you clearance so your feet and everything are in a safe position. Normally these run for like 20 bucks, and I picked them up this at an estate sale for 15, so it wasn't a huge bargain, but 5 bucks is 5 bucks, and it was never used. They also had a rectangular one for lots of wood. Didn't think that was going to be as useful for me. This will still handle quite a few things I'll encounter, so I was okay with it. But yeah, I've been looking forward to getting one of these. I think that would be useful when I'm cutting odd, bizarre things in a safe manner. Then we have a set of bolt cutters, and I got these for 2 reasons. One, I have a really large set in the basement, and a very small set, my toolbox up here in the office, and that's like only a little bit bigger than a pair of channel locks, or about the size of a pair of your standard channel locks. And the really big set I have in the basement, which have like 3-foot handles, they're so large that when I go to cut things, sometimes the gap is too big, it won't cut it. So I needed a pair that were a little smaller. So that's why I got these, but I only paid 3 bucks for them in an estate sale, and they're in awesome shape. But I also got them because the guy whose stuff I bought, incredible basement shop. He was an amateur. He just really well done. Lots of homemade gear and some cabinets and stands and stuff, and it was awesome. His son's a machinist, and I can see why. So yeah, I was impressed by that. I wanted to bring one of his tools home with me so that it will live on and be used by someone else. My wife wanted a small flask, so she got a small flask. We got it at Savers. And we also picked this up, which is the kind of a classic kit. There we go, classic kit. She liked the way it nested because when it locks, it has a nice positive, affirmative lock on it. She liked that. But frankly, I think I may replace that with a better cup because I prefer a steel cup to a plastic one like that. But for 2 bucks, it was a good deal, and it's the kind of thing that she can just take when she goes, hangs out and does stuff with the Girl Scouts and things like that. So yeah, it was a nice little buy. Oh, 3 bucks, nice buy at Savers for $3. Then we have some. These are Brad Point drill bits, and I've never tried using these on wood, and these were on sale at Walmart for like 4 bucks. So I picked that one up. This is a sharpening stone you put onto a drill or onto a drill press. I've never tried using this kind of thing, and it was practically, nothing at an estate sale, so I picked that up. Then we have this, which is a set of all solid steel bocce balls. These are very heavy. I'm thinking of doing some horrible things with those. We'll see what happens. I'll probably have to do some drilling and tapping on that. Something I actually haven't done. Speaking of drilling and tapping, I got this entire bucket of hardware along with this really nice antique pulley and these 2 wrenches for like $1 at an estate sale. And I got these specifically for a project I want to try. So I have no emotional attachment to these things, as I'm going to hurt those. I also got this piece of file, so it's actually still functioning as a file, but I'm thinking maybe of using it for something else because it's always good steel. Then we have a tire thumper, which is one of the solid hardwood with a weight down here. And I was thinking, what can I turn this into? Because mounting will be slightly challenging because I can't just drill through it because there's a steel rod in there. So I may have to come up with a workaround for that, and that workaround process, getting around that problem is always an impetus for creativity. So we'll see what I come up with that. Then we have a Stanley machete with a couple of hooks. There's a small hook here and a larger hook here, and I picked that up for brand new for 12 bucks. It was this season too, but Tractor Supply was selling it for 12 bucks, so I picked one up. And it's got a saw in the back. I'm kind of dubious about that. I think that the handle design is not great for sawing, and if you slip or something, it makes me a little nervous, but I'm going to give it a try. Then we have this, which is a Here we go. Klein Tools. This is a catalog 1570-3. This is a vintage 60 era lineman stripper knife for stripping cabling off really big electrical cables. It has the original loop and it's translucent. You can see through this handle. I thought that was really awesome, so I picked that up at a flea market. And we have this wrench, which is a Hassler T11. And this wrench was designed to be used on a 1917 era Model T. I'm going to hang it up as a piece of art. I paid a little bit more for this than I would have normally paid for a wrench. I paid $15 for this. But it's a slice of history, and I don't think I got ripped off at all. This I got a real deal. I paid $8 for this. I looked online. The average price on these is like $27. So I could sell this and make a profit, but I'm not gonna. I think it's really cool looking. I have a thing for inward curving blades. I really need to learn how to sharpen them better. I can do a decent job, but I want to know how to get a really good edge on that. Anyone knows a good tutorial out there for sharpening an inward curve? Hit me up. And we got one more section up here, and I think I may run outside to show you something as well. Here we have a barbell handle. This has got two perpendicular grip design. My wife wanted to try this out, and it was $1 at an estate sale. You can't go wrong there, man. $1 for this thing. I don't even know how much they cost, new, but it's a nice shape. And the guy had some really old school weights. They may even have been handmade weights. They were just like round steel plates and welded to solid metal grips. They were really old school, like something that looked like it came out of the 1940s. So maybe he was a bodybuilder from the past. I don't know, but he had a lot of equipment in his basement, and he had this, and that was $1. So couldn't go wrong there. He also had this steel too, but it's kind of a gold color, and I have no idea what it's designed. It's nice and heavy, thick wall gauge. It's got 2 holes here and threads. So I don't know what to do with this yet, but it was a steel. I mean, get it? Yeah, but it was cheap, and I liked it, so I'm thinking maybe I'll find a use for it. Then we have 2 chair legs. I'm planning on using probably this one here as the handle on a gaming-related piece of gear, just prop kind of thing. So it was $1 a piece at an estate sale, so which is, perfect for. I'm not going to do a little artsy crafty thing with it, so I invest a lot of money. Then we have the last thing up here is this Fisker's brush axe. It's a 9-inch brush axe, clears heavy brush, and it comes with this nice holder, which you can carry as a handle, but you can also mount it, and then you just lock it in place, and it's got this, and it really holds the blade right to the surface very securely, and it just goes. There you go, and it ain't going no place. And I just love to look at this thing. It's really got a nice feel to it. You grab this section in here, and you have a lot of control over what that blade does. And down here, you get a lot of power. So I was really quite impressed with this. I picked it up at Walmart on sale for $13. At the end of the season, they didn't want it. I did. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. Okay, now to the outside. And here we have our new bird bath. We picked this up at an estate sale for $25. It is terracotta with a nice heavy glaze on it. It's quite deep. I mean, like, goes up to up to here. So it's like a good almost 2 inches deep in the middle, or it could be 2 inches deep. So it's a nice depth. We had been using this bowl right here, but it was not attached to the stand at all, and the squirrels knocked it over like twice and snapped off 2 of the corners. And it is actually a casting of a real leaf, so my wife's going to find a place to display it. At the moment, it's a backup water, I guess, because it was here in the rain. I didn't put water in there, the rain did. But this is a really nice color. It's in nice condition. The top and the base come apart from each other, but they are attached enough for birds to come in here. And I don't think the squirrels can knock this one over. It does need to be a little leveled. It's a little bit higher in that side than this side, but I don't know how much one of these things costs new, but man, it is really pretty. It was a nice price, and I was really quite happy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this bargain video. bonus cactus. We went to a yard sale, and the guy there had this huge patch of cactus, and he gave my wife 4 little pieces, and each one was about the size of a silver dollar. And we brought them home, and we stuck them in this cement pot with soil and proper drainage, and these things have just been thriving. They're already flowered. I missed the flowering, sorry about that. But these things have been thriving, and it's kind of cool to see cacti growing in New England. I don't know how big they're going to get, but this is really cool. We may have to relocate them at some point. You do not want to touch these things because they have little tiny hairs on them that will really hurt you, like make you itch like crazy because they come off and stick in your skin. So yeah, if you have to handle this kind of thing, wear rubber gloves, or this guy just used a metal grabber, like whoop, plucked it out. So his hands never actually touched them. He just dropped them in a plastic bag for my wife. But yeah, it was wicked easy, no problem, and we bought some cactus stuff from him to go with it. So it was a great deal. We got the cactus for nothing, and we got the food and the cactus food and things for $7 for an entire box full of stuff. So this has been in your bonus cactus footage.